Hello everyone, it's Jayden for Student Pages. Hope you're all doing absolutely excellent. Welcome back to another Spotlight Sessions interview. Today we are joined by the frontman of the Cab, Alex DeLeon. How's it going?
It's going great, man. Always going great.
Yeah, no, absolutely great to hear. So I do want to say, first of all, has anyone ever referred to you as the driver of the cab? Has that ever come up?
I can be if that's what I'm probably the worst driver in the band. So it's funny when we toured for all those years, I was the band was really kind. They let me not drive because they were like, "You're the singer. You need to rest your voice." So all those years of traveling thousands of miles around the country in a van and trailer, I never drove it. So I would
Oh,
say I'm probably the passenger of the cab.
valid passenger. You know what? Yeah, fine. We'll go with passenger of the cab. So yeah, first of all, congratulations on the new single, Sweet Kerosene. I mean, it's an
Thank you,
absolutely
brother.
fantastic song, paired up to Chasing Crowns, the overall album. Really exciting stuff. So I mean, just to start us off, then, how has the new music helped inspire your creative process overall as a band?
Man, because we've been doing it over the past decade, it's kind of been there's been times where it's like in the studio every day for 6 weeks, and then there's been times where 8 months go by and we don't write, and then we write again. So what's cool about the record is that some of these songs are written 12 years ago, and some of them were written 2 months ago. So it really does. It's a lot of bookmarks in life, right? 10 years of life's a lot of life for anybody. So I think that that's what's really cool about this record is it really is just a bunch of bookmarks and pages of the past 10 years. So that's kind of why genre is all over the place. Lyrically, the songs are all different. I think that's what makes the album to me really special. But yeah, it's been a journey, man. It's been a journey. We didn't know
Yeah.
if it would ever come out. So the fact that it comes out in 6 hours for you and 12 hours for me is like surreal. Like doesn't feel like
Yeah.
it's actually happening.
That's music, isn't it? You work on stuff and you wonder, it takes such a long time that you wonder whether it's ever going to come to fruition. But it always does eventually in one form or another. Whether it's, the original vision or not, things change, don't they? But no, honestly, it's like we've had a great start and I'm sure the rest of it's going to be awesome. I mean, what was sort of the inspiration behind this particular release of music?
I mean, we didn't think the band was ever going to tour or play shows again or make another album. We didn't get along for a while. I mean, just to be super, transparent and honest, it's not, I think life isn't all sunshine and flowers, and we started the band when we were 14 and, the band, I guess, stopped doing stuff when we were like 23, 24, which is like insane. But I was saying earlier, I was like, dude, your frontal lobe's not even developed. Like we're literally, teenagers, dude. Like we're all like athletes. We're testosterone's flying. We're fighting over girls. But dude, you're like 17 years old in a van with like 12 dudes, like in a tiny van, touring the country for 11 months out of the year. I mean, that would drive anybody up a wall, even if you were touring with, Gandhi and Mother Teresa. It was just like any like the kindest people in the world wouldn't be able to get through it. Um, but man, now it just feels amazing. It's like we're all just so we just live in like this gratitude and like just a newfound love and respect for each other and a love for looking back at all those days which Haley Williams from Paramore says it best. It's like what is it? Who knew the hard times would be the good old days? It's like that's so real, man. Like, looking back, it's like, dude, being in the van with those boys was like some of the best years of my life, best times of my life. First time I saw the world and the country and experienced life. So it's really nice to be back now. And again, it's just coming at it and attacking it from a complete different mindset and perspective. I think when the cab started, I'd only been to two countries and I've been to 100 now. It's just like the world just gets
Oh,
bigger. You meet more people. Um, you mentioned before we started recording, it's like you're a fan, I've been doing music for the past 10 years. And a lot of people don't even know that Bones is the same singer of the Cab, which always is so funny to me when someone's like, "Wait, you're the
yeah,
same
yeah,
person?" It's like really
yeah.
funny to me. But the Cab has always been my heart and soul, man. I mean, I've been in the Cab longer than I haven't been in the Cab. And the Cab is me from being a 13-year-old, 14-year-old writing in a diary in science class or chemistry class in high school to now being a father and a husband, and it's crazy, man. It's really special to be able to do this again, and we don't take it for granted at all.
Yeah, no, it's been a long cab journey. Honestly, I gotta stop with the puns. Genuinely, like, I gotta,
Yeah, hit me.
I'm gonna pack it in at some point. But no, honestly, I really respect the transparency. I think, like you say, things aren't always perfect, but ultimately, I think you find a way of making it work if it's something worthwhile making work. I think that's always the best ethic to go with. And yeah, so obviously, you guys as a band have each other, but has there been any other people in you guys' lives that have helped you get to where you are now? Any people that, in particular, have really, sort of been cheerleaders for you?
Man, I mean, the list would be too long, but I would say, our manager Chris Knight, for example, he was working with the Eagles and Christina Aguilera when I met him, and he was at the time dating our friend Kelty, and she's like, he'll take a meeting with you, like let's do lunch, he'll give you advice, but like he's way too busy working with Don Henley and like Christina Aguilera, like to work with
Wow.
like a small pop punk band, but like and then we met, we hit it off, and he's like, you know what, like let's do this. Like I believe in you guys. Um, Man, he took us from being a pop punk act to opening for Maroon 5 and writing songs with Bruno Mars, and so he's been really special and instrumental in our career. Our other manager Molly, but then, man, there's been times in my life where I got a call when the cab, I guess probably 2013, that my doctor looked at my voice and was like, dude, I don't know if you're going to be able to sing again. He's like, you have vocal scarring. Um, Nodes are when there's bumps in your vocal cords. Vocal scarring is the opposite. It's when it goes in, and your vocal cords are one of the only parts of your body that doesn't heal. So once you break through the membrane of your vocal cord, it's done forever. Um, so I was at a pretty dark place in life, and luckily I pretty much relearned how to sing. I was kind of singing wrong before because I never had vocal lessons or anything. So now I feel like I'm singing better than I ever have. But dude, there was a really scary, dark few years. And there were a few friends in my life at that point who, if I didn't have them, it would have been really bad times. Like I'm not like nothing like too dark, but there was just a lot of sadness. There was a lot of self doubt, a lot of insecurity. All I'd ever been was a singer to everybody, and so I was like, if I lose my voice, like, what do I even have? Like, who am I without my voice? So scary times, but great support system. We have great friends. I have a great family. Met my wife. Have an awesome daughter now. Who, when I have bad days, I'll walk into her room and she's singing "Angel with a Shotgun," and I'm like, okay, I still got this. I can do it for her. So it's
Yeah.
been good.
No, that's amazing. No, that's awesome to hear. It's always lovely to be, surrounded by people. And again, it's like you say, maybe it's not the biggest, maybe it's not first world problems exactly, but being told that, something you're so passionate about might be torn away from you. I imagine that must be absolutely awful. I actually can't imagine anything worse. Someone told me I can't play Minion Rush again. I think I'd cry. But yeah, it's
But
one of those things, but I'm glad you managed to get past it. But yeah, so how did you break into the music industry, and what advice would you give to students who are hoping to do the same thing?
so I think, breaking into the music industry, it's tricky because it doesn't matter how talented you are. You could be the most talented singer in the world and it's still not happen for you, right? You could be not talented and you could become the biggest star in the world, right? It takes it takes a lot of things happening at once. Um, I think that you have to focus on controlling what you can control, and that's hard work. That's being kind to people when you meet them because you never know when you're going to see them on the other side, right? Like so many people I met that were fans of my band at the beginning, or even dude fans of my band when I was 17 years old, who now are like some of the biggest pop stars in the world. And like you just don't know who people are going to become. So I've always lived by be kind to everybody, work your ass off, um, stay humble, always know that like one of the hardest things in music, man, is you really have to learn. Sensitivity is what makes an artist an artist. I mean, that's why we're artists, right? Artists are sensitive people. They're storytellers. That's what's beautiful. But we can get really insecure. So it's really about having thick skin, being proud of what you do, and you know, if you love a song and believe in a song, if it doesn't work right away, if that's not the song that's getting the streams, that's breaking your career when you really believed in it, that doesn't mean that it won't happen in the future with that same song or a different song. So you just have to, I would say, becoming an artist who, I mean, we're not Coldplay, we're not U2, obviously, but I feel like resiliency, and if you can just be resilient and just hold on long enough, I think that's. I had so many friends, bands who quit too early where I was like, guys, if you would have just pushed a few more months, you know what I mean? Because it gets hard, dude. You just get beaten up, man. This industry kicks your ass. We've been on 3 record labels. You know, we've played in front of we've literally played shows where we were the headliners where nobody came. And our opening bands and merch guys were the only people in the crowd watching us, and we did the same for them, right? So you're like, literally nobody came. We had like,
Ouch.
I'll never forget, it was at a skate park and there were kids in like Dead Kennedys t-shirts, like skating on the bowls in the back, flipping us off, being like, get the fuck off the stage, you know, like we don't
No,
want to listen,
wow.
we don't want to listen to this pop music type of thing. And dude, you just gotta grind. And then,
You
dude,
got
you know,
thick skin then, haven't you? You know, it's like
dude, 4 years four
getting
years
bullied
later,
by children. That's gonna be awful. Because
and
what do you even
4 years
do?
late 4 years later, we're playing in South Korea at the Olympic Stadium in front of 80,000. So you,
Yeah,
dude, it's just believe in yourself, have fun. The process is the fun part. The grind is the fun part. Like once you get to the point later in your career, it kind of just becomes autopilot. So you just have to remember that the grind and being in your bedroom and writing songs with your best friends and being unsure of what the future holds and being able to be young enough to decide who you are and what artist you want to be, that's the fun part. That's the
yeah,
sauce that later on you miss. And it seems like in the moment, that's the difficult part. And that's the part that makes you want to quit. That's the part you'll miss every single day when you get older.
yeah. No, and the hard part is just hoping the algorithm chooses you at some point. You know, it's like that is the
Yeah, dude.
that's the pain of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
But
dude. You're telling me we're dealing with that right now. It's like, dude, we've put out multiple albums. We've had platinum songs and we're still freaking out about the algorithm and
yeah.
wondering what
Well,
what's going to get
if it's
pushed
any
and not.
reassurance, if it's any reassurance, I found your music literally 2 weeks ago. This is why it's such strange timing. Is that I found your music 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Spotify was on autoplay, and "Raging on a Sunday" came on, and I genuinely just thought I was like, "This is like really good song, what on earth?" So then I got approached for this interview. I was doing some
Wow.
research. I thought, "No way, it's that guy." I was like, "Nah, that's wild." But yeah,
That's
no.
that's actually insane.
It's
I
crazy
wonder what
timing,
else
right?
you listened. I wonder what else you listened to that brought you to Raging on a Sunday.
Yeah, I really don't know. I got the most broad
Yeah.
music taste, but yeah, I mean, I'll do you
Cool.
one last question, sort of just to because more just because I'm curious than anything. What to you separates the cab from Bones? You know, how do you split those in your head and say, right, this is what I want to do for this, and this is what I want to do for this solo?
So that's hard, right? Because here's the thing, like I am the singer of Bones and the writer of Bones, and I am the singer and writer of the Cap. So it's never going to sound drastically different. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
it's still me. It's still part of my soul and my creativity that just comes out. I think that I think the Cabs or the sorry, I think Bones is just a little more angry at the world, just a little more pissed off. I think it's
Mhm.
my side of being like, if I'm fucking pissed that the government's draining our country of human rights, then I probably do that with Bones. And if I want to tell a love story, it's probably the Cap. Like it's just there's Bones definitely was my years of really being between 20 and 30 years old of realizing that one day I'm going to die. And like I think it's like more mortality, it's more anger, it's more and also sometimes more fun, more just like I can be sophisticated sometimes and I can be a shit show sometimes. And I think that like that balance is really nice because with Bones, like I can listen to a track or play a guitar riff and I know pretty quickly if it's going to be Bones or the Cap. So that's
Hmm.
fun. But I think that just like in life, like there's winter and there's summer and it's like all dichotomy, right? Like no human it has a sunny, perfect day every single day. It's like we feel pain, we feel joy, we feel anger and resentment. And so I feel like depending on my mood, it's pretty obvious which direction it's going to go.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I
so
mean?
it's
So
mainly, yeah, mainly a thematic thing is what I'm hearing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it, Alex. As I say, I think it's fantastic that you managed to balance these things. Obviously, all the success is immensely impressive, and you're making awesome stuff. So, I mean, yeah, look, thank you ever so much for speaking to me
Great
today.
to
It's been
meet you, my
absolutely
friend. I'll
incredible.
talk to you again soon, and hopefully we get out there
Yes.
and play some shows.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. Best of luck with everything. Good speaking to
All
you.
right, bro. Thank you, man.
No worries.